Okay, so there we go, we're back. Sorry, teething problems with all these new players. It takes a little bit more to coordinate. So Vizixfan is going to go for a 6 expand here. So that's going to be quite economic, but he's going to be in trouble versus this build out here from Owen. Owen is actually, in fact, on it. He had a brief skip there where he missed a worker, just trying to get his barracks out as fast as he can. And Owen's just harassing here, just trying to delay this expansion as much as possible. Because when you delay this expansion, it's going to delay the barracks behind it, and it's just going to make it even harder for Vizixfan to cope with the attack that is going to be coming here. Alright, the barracks is about to finish up, and that's probably going to be a rifle straight away out of Owen, which would be great for sort of kiting back and trying to do a lot of worker damage if he can get away with it. Hopefully we should see a tower coming out of Vizixfan to counter this build, but it's going to be quite hard on this map with the 2 entrances. You've got one to the side here and one to the top to actually properly protect yourself. And it is actually going to be a house from Vizixfan, so he's going to have to try and hold on with workers for a while here until this works out in his favour. We would have Drumknot with us casting, but Drumknot's actually over in his first tournament game. He is having his debut at the moment, so that's quite exciting. But he will be back to join us for the rest of the games. The soldier now from Owen is nearly done, and it's an interesting pick actually going for the soldier. Soldier is a lot more susceptible to being surrounded, and although it has more damage per second and more damage per hit, it is a bit of a riskier choice. A lot of the sort of top players at the moment have been electing to go for rifle. Normally sort of a few riflemen and then a soldier. So Owen actually hiding a worker up to the top right here. It looks like he's going to come down and try and put down a tower in the middle of Vizixfan's base. So this is going to force a lot of workers to be pulled here from Vizixfan to properly defend this. And oh no, it's not going to be a tower, it is actually going to be a proxy follow-up barracks. So this is going to be a 2 racks all-in build here from Owen. If Owen doesn't do major damage, he is going to be quite a long way behind. So you can see in the top left there, Vizixfan's only very slightly ahead, but that's going to accelerate really quickly because Owen's capped out at 10 workers. That's optimal for a single gold mine, and Vizixfan's going to be pushing out 2 more at a time. So although he's not going to have enough units to defend quite yet, he's going to have a significantly bigger economy. And Owen actually, you can see, is now starting to pull 2 workers, and he's banked up about 200 gold here. So I'm wondering if he is actually going to go in with a tower just slightly later than I expected. Vizixfan does finish up his barracks now, so he's going to start production. He's going to need a tower or to work up all soon though, because Owen now arrives in the base. He's going for the main work line here, and there are already weakened units. Vizixfan comes in looking for the surround, gets a surround on the soldier. That soldier's going to go down, and he's just herding the rifleman out at this stage. I'm surprised he's not stepping with his workers. 2 riflemen pulled off to deal with the rifleman. That soldier gets fully surrounded, and I'll be surprised if he does any damage here. Does get a single worker, which is nice. But now there's going to be a rifleman coming, oh, a soldier, sorry, coming out here from Vizixfan, and Owen has a proxy barracks, and he's on a 2 base all in, and he just did 1 worker's worth of damage. Vizixfan has already recovered from the damage he's done, so he can basically just grab all of his workers at the moment. You can see he has more workers. He can just grab all his workers, worker all in, and he wins the game from this stage. So this is now Vizixfan's game to lose, which is a very commanding lead in his first set here. Very impressive showing. Now this is going to be a single elimination tournament here this week. So if Owen does go out here to Vizixfan, he will have to wait until next week to play in his next tournament. He might be involved in the monthly actually. And Owen's coming now in here with quite a few units. This soldier's actually on hold position. It's not doing any damage. The workers come in to protect this rifleman. The worker does go down, but Vizix Fan is still ahead, 15 workers to 12. And these riflemen are not being microed back well at all. Owen's taking a huge amount of damage here. But these soldiers are starting to go to work. They have managed to kill a few workers now. And Vizix Fan hasn't microed them too well. He's microed them alright, he's pulling them back. You can see now this push is starting to get cleaned up. Another soldier coming out here from Vizix Fan. I reckon he really should have pulled more workers from his main line faster. Because he has dropped down now to 13 workers. He is still ahead, and that is going to be really good for him. Owen now electing to try and take a barracks, a castle in the background here. And Vizix Fan is going to have a soldier out of position here. This is going to get kited around. It's going to do a bit of damage, but that's just going to put him in an even sketchier position. Vizix Fan probably should just throw down a tower here. That would fully defend him. And trading soldier for soldier there. And there we go. There's the tower in the middle of the base. And that will protect pretty much everything. It stretches out to about here. So Owen's going to need to find a way to come back into this. Now, normally what players tend to do, which is a bad move, is they'll take this expansion after a Rax all in, and then they'll try and grab a second one, because they figure, I'm going to need 2 bases to get back into the game. But that tends to get you killed, because your opponent is now going to power up their own units, and then they'll be coming crashing down on your exposed bases. The best thing for Owen right now is to just pump out as many workers as he can, and then see if we can get a tech upgrade lead in either upgrades or just in getting something like mages. And then he can hopefully take a few good engagements and get back into this game. He is starting to mass soldiers, which will really help here, and Vizix Fan doesn't have many units at all here. He has enough soldiers to solo this tower, but again, if Vizix Fan just pulls workers, he's got 17 to 12, so he should be able to hold this. There we go. Owen backs out, and Vizix Fan just trying to do some more damage on the backline. I don't think he knows, though, about this barracks hiding in the corner here. He definitely hasn't scouted his opponent's main base recently. There we go, second rack's down for Vizix Fan now. So we'll be able to actually start fully pushing his opponent away. And Owen's just producing more and more units, which I don't know is a great plan. It's going to allow him to keep map control for a bit. It's going to allow him to pressure. But what he really needs to do is just cut as many corners as he can, now his opponent's on the defensive. And really, as I said, try and find an advantage another way. He's not done enough damage here. He is going to start catching up on workers though. So that will eventually even out once Vizix Fan and Owen saturate both their main bases. Owen now with a sizable force, but the problem is you're going to have to go in quite deep to really contest this tower. And there's a lot of lovely little chokes inside Vizix Fan's base, so that's going to make it really quite easy for the riflemen to avoid getting into engagements, at least in an open area. Owen actually managing to get a supply box here, which is not what you want when you're possibly this far behind. There's a third Rax coming down here from Vizix Fan. So he is going to try and power up and push this away, but Owen's coming in now. He's going to try and possibly engage this tower while taking more soldiers on to deal with the riflemen. See what damage he can do. Riflemen start to get on top of these soldiers and put out damage now. Soldiers getting in on top of the riflemen, which is not what you want. They're in a pretty bad position. There's not much for them to retreat to. But these soldiers are going to back off now. One soldier will fall. And all in all, Owen didn't do anything there. He traded units away for damage on a tower, which is not what you want at this stage in the game. Owen's now, as I said, he's going up for a tech advantage. He's going for his mages. And he sees that Vizix Fan's gone quite rifle heavy here. Although he is starting to add on some more soldiers. Actually, 2 more soldiers coming up after this. So Fireball's really good against Riflemen because of their low natural armor and only 80 health. So they'll take about 3 or 4 Fireballs. Whereas you can see soldiers, they take 6 Fireballs, which is, and they've got +1 armor, so they're actually going to take 7 Fireballs to start with, which is really not what you want. Owen now looking to take out this forge and take the double expansion, which will help him get an advantage in this game. Physics Fan throwing down a forge as well. So it'll be interesting to see what type of upgrades Physics Fan gets, because that will be indicative of the type of units he wants to get. If armoured soldiers are really good versus riflemen and can tank a huge amount of damage, but if he's going for attack upgrades, it's much more likely he's either going to be doing a lot of counter-attacking, or that he'll be going for riflemen, just from the way the meta's sort of playing out at the moment. Now, I've not covered this yet, but this is an interesting part of this map, is that out towards the middle, you've got 2 gold mines in sort of close together, so you only need 1 base to really sort of get to both of them. But the thing is, it's really quite exposed, so you have to have map control to really be able to claim it as your own. And in the original version of this map, back before 1.84, this forge wasn't here, so you could 1 max expand, take this base, and be really quite far ahead. But the map creator, I think it's TZK, I apologise to Volt if I got that wrong. Yeah, the forges were added to really sort of slow down that and actually make you play this map a little bit more carefully. So Owen's going to come around here on the left hand side, he's going to start really doing a lot of damage to this house. And it might have to get cancelled. Physics Fan's trying to come around the left and get the rifleman into position. But this house has got to get cancelled, and Owen actually, Physics Fan doesn't cancel it. So it's going to be 100 gold down the drain, and he's going to have to restart that house. Which is a pain. 3 mages now coming out for Owen, and they're getting heal spells, so it looks like he's going to be going for a heal soldier mage build. And that was a really weird way of saying that name. But that's because of the high health and natural armor is going to allow heal spells to make those soldiers last a ridiculously long time. Physics Fan now coming in to engage. He doesn't have his upgrades yet, so it's possibly engaging too early here. And it's a huge amount of soldiers from Owen, and Physics Fan isn't engaging. This is really not what you want. You need to stay ahead. Physics Fan's now going to see the mage. He knows what build is coming out here from his opponent, but he is getting reinforcements in. And the sound is actually really loud on this game. Let's tweak that down a bit for you. So we're going to see this now pushed back. These mages are about the same power as riflemen, but the problem is Owen's got heal spell on them, so they're not really going to do a huge amount of direct engagements. They've got nothing to heal, and Physics Fan's just going to keep pressuring this base. He sees the sort of double expand here from Owen, but Owen's not got anything mining at it, and looks like Physics Fan's just going to march straight into his base. Physics Fan actually stopping for a second here. He's Scriptan's just telling me about the sick micro. So Physics Fan that's going to try and harass this base bit, but it looks like Owen's just not got anywhere near enough units. Physics Fan not actually starting his next set of upgrades. You can see some of these players struggle a little bit with macro, and it is going to be it is going to be GG there. So Physics Fan will take game 1 of that set. Okay, TZK is just saying Major Zimba.